And I really appreciate your coverage of our team and our student athletes telling the story about our 2025 season, and then also the individuals we have on the team and in the organization. We're excited at this point in the year, 2 games in, and having a chance to be 2-0. That's big for us. I think we're trending in the right direction in a lot of ways in all 3 phases, making progress. Excited to get conference play here, and obviously a lot of respect for the coaching staff at USC, and they've got really good players. Our guys are excited about having a chance to play in Ross 8 again, 3:30 kick, and a lot of excitement will be built around this game. We had a good start to the preparation this morning with our practice, and look forward to a really, really good week. I can answer questions now.
When you took a second look at things, which parts of this team took a step forward against Southern Illinois?
Yeah, on the line of scrimmage offensively, took a big step. I thought they did a nice job. And then once we got into the game, I felt like the play of the quarterback was really, really solid. And I thought our runners ran the ball well. Tough yardage after contact, finishing the run the right way. And good to see the tight end show up in the throw game. And then on defense, was good to see some communication take over once we got some things worked out that we needed to in that area. Once we saw the picture a second time, it was communicated and then executed.
You're pretty familiar with this quarterback. Just what ways is he going to challenge this defense?
Yeah, Jaden is, you have relationships with all guys you've had a chance to coach, and Jaden was our quarterback my first year at UNLV and led us to 9 wins, and just a wonderful young man, a great family, and was a lot of fun to coach. And he's had great success at USC. Looks like he's continued to develop his game, both throwing, reading defenses, running the complete way that quarterbacks do, and he can make every throw there is on the field. He's a tough runner, a great competitor, and I know that he will continue to have a really solid season playing. I hate to see him on the other side of the field. I hate anytime you're playing a former player. That's hard. Love him to death. We're connected forever. For both of us, I think if you would ask him the same thing, on Saturday for 4 hours, I'm trying to do everything I can to win the game.
You're obviously very familiar with him, you and Mike both. Do you lean at all in a week like this more on Josh in terms of personnel from the other team, schematic things, coaching personnel, tendencies and things like that? Does he become more of the chess match this week just because of his familiarity with USC?
I think you always look to try to gain an edge or an advantage anyway, and both coordinators, really, and Coach Shivas as well, every single week we'll do almost a debriefing on the other side on what we think, what we see, any information they have through their lens of what that looks like. Obviously, Josh was there for the last 3 years or so, so his understanding of personnel would be a little bit more intimate and detailed than just a normal week. So I think any information that we can gain any way possible, we're always trying to find an edge for our team schematically, physically, and all the things that go into that. So Josh will, we spend a lot of time in the off season talking about those things as well. So just so it's not, too much time taken away from what he needs to get done this week for our offense to play at a high level. That always takes place.
Yeah.
Barry, Devin has 46 carries in 2 games. That's his second highest of his career, dating back to his freshman year. Josh said that may not be the norm going forward, but to have a back that's an older guy who can handle that workload and the physicality of being a running back, how much does that kind of give your offense maybe a little bit of an edge to have the guy that I didn't see him get knocked back the other night? He moved forward every time he got the point of contact.
Yeah, I think, number one, we've got to be able to run the ball, and it doesn't have to mean, Mock gets 46 carries in 2 weeks, but if that's what it takes, that's what we'll do. And I think we've got some guys that are continuing to get in a position that maybe can share some of that load as well. But it's an opportunity for us to really, when you have the ability to establish the line of scrimmage and run the football, I've said it over and over, that'll open up a lot of things in our offense. So we've got to be able to do that. And there's going to be some elements of quarterback run that are going to be really important to us as well. There'll be some passing game on the perimeter that can almost equal, like an outside stretch as well as we continue to execute our offense. But we do trust Maccabee, and we trust him with the ball in his hands, and he continues to prove why he has earned that trust.
I understand you didn't have any say in the schedule when you got here, but do you like the progression that it's been so far, where Southern Illinois seemed to be able to do some different things than Ball State, and now you elevate that to another level when you go into USC?
Well, I think every week's so different, and it's a story within its own. So I don't know that I really looked at from how this first 3 games, how it plays out from week to week, just in really the context of how we build the playbook or the theme of the week or the messaging of the week. We moved on pretty quickly from Ball State after the first game, and Southern Illinois after the second game. A couple hours after the game, that one was already over, and we were full steam ahead onto USC. So how it lays out schedule-wise, I know we've got this week and next week, and then we get a bye. I'm more looking at the long-term health of the season and the team, kind of where we're at through practice reps on what that looks like until we get the bye week, and I think we're right on track. So excited about the opportunity, and I am thankful that we got first 3 games at home, have a chance to play in Ross-Ade. I think it's a huge part of our advantage.
Some of these guys from the last Big Ten championship team at Purdue are coming back this weekend. How important is it, when not only at Purdue, anywhere, I guess, really, to tap into that history with your guys and let them, kind of educate them about what this program is?
That's so important. The connective piece between former players and the current team. I want them all to feel welcome here, and I feel a very deep responsibility to get Purdue football back to winning ways for a number of reasons. But one of those reasons are the former players and the guys that walk around with the logo on their shirt, and the people that we represent so many things much bigger than ourselves. And former players is one of those pieces that I feel responsible to win games for, and excited to see the group back. Just like the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 honorary captains that were great players here, and then in the NFL, and then this week will be another group coming in, and excited to have a chance to spend some time with them.
You talked after you gave Ethan the scholarship, or I guess he earned the scholarship in the spring, and now he's starting for you, and I'm sure that even with the scholarship, that doesn't guarantee anything beyond, now you don't have to pay for school. What has he done to elevate himself here even more so, I guess, as a leader and as a guy that came here as a walk-on and has just kind of earned his way to be where he is now?
Yeah, a number of things that he continues to do, and it all really goes back to the centerpiece of being consistent. And you know exactly what you're going to get from him every single day in workouts, in practice, in the meeting room. It's very consistent. He's got a very high standard for himself on how he feels like he needs to play the game. He's a smart football player. He's he's tough and physical, and again, I think he's a winner.
Hey Barry, speak of the discipline of the team. Fewest penalties in the Big Ten, and just 1 turnover so far. Just talk to that aspect of the team through 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think you look at our plan to win. That's part of it. We've got to number one. It's football IQ, being a smart team. It's also, the hidden yardage within the game, either field position through the kick game or, the average starting position, how important that is, and penalties go into that as well. As long as we can keep that in our favor, we've got to start somehow creating takeaways on defense and the kicking game. Offensively, we still need to try to find a way to come out of each game with 0. But at the end of the year, if you can be the least penalized team and you're winning in the turnover margin and in field position, then you're going to be a winning football team. So that's all part of the process of what the winning plan looks like. And I think our guys understand that through, the education that we provided on that, and then also, they've done a really good job executing those things. We gotta keep that in our favor.
How is the health of the team?
I think would be exactly about where we left off before Saturday's game. I think we've got a chance. I think we've got a chance to get one or two of the guys back that were listed as out last week into practice situations this week. I don't know if they'll be cleared yet or not for the game, but we're in a really good spot right now.
You can't say who.
No.
Is this a measuring stick game for you, Barry?
Say it again.
A measuring stick game?
No, I mean, it's to me, it's obviously a big game, but they're all big. This is the next opportunity for us, and can we improve from week 1 to week 2? I think yes, we did in a lot of ways. Can we improve from game 2 to 3? That's the next measuring stick for us.
And then Drew Brees, was he a guy? Did you talk to him while you were being interviewed? Have you met Drew Brees at all? Just any relationship with Drew Brees at all? Who we hear?
I did not talk to him during the interview process. No, I did talk to him the first day I was on campus. I had a number of phone calls, and he was one of them. Had a really good initial conversation. We followed up a couple times. He's helped us some in recruiting, and then also you look at the respect factor that Drew Brees has around the world, how important it is for us at the quarterback position to play really well, to honor him, as all the other great quarterbacks that have played here. But he and one of the guys that I coached years ago, or was an assistant coach during his time, Chase Daniel, they were together with the Saints, so there's a more connective piece there. They live close by each other, present day, and so it's been an easy transition into our relationship.
And has Jaden Maiava texted you at all? Have you communicated with him at all?
No, I love him to death. I don't know that. I'll certainly have a chance to talk to him either before or after the game, and I'm proud of him. Hate again that we're playing against each other, but that's the way of the world. So I hope he has a lot of success other than 4 hours on Saturday.
Just one, your thoughts on, it looks like they're going to go down to a single portal opening in the spring as opposed to the 2. Your thoughts on it and what it means for Purdue?
Yeah, I think you look at the opportunities that creates in the month of January and what that looks like. I don't know what our number will be yet on add the high school class mid-years that we're going to have graduate early in high school and enroll. We've got a pretty healthy number in that regard. So that early portal window, I think the advantages are you get the guys here that you would add to your roster through that time frame. You get a chance for them to go through the winter conditioning phase, the winning edge program, spring practice. So you've got them for a little bit longer if you can get them into school during that time. So I'm in favor of one. And I know most guys that are going to get in the portal, they know where they're going anyway before they get in. So we'll be very aggressive to help build our roster for 2026 during that time. And as far as numbers or what that looks like, we won't have any idea yet until we get closer to the end of the season on how many transfers we're going to take.
I just want to follow up on that because it would seem like the spring portal has been pretty advantageous, especially maybe if you're coming in first-time coach. It gives the players that are deciding what they want to do a chance to work with you guys, show you what they have. It gives you a chance to evaluate them. So I guess if you're in favor of one, what wins out over that as far as being better for the sport or better for coaches? I
don't know what's better for the sport, but that's what the rule's going to be. It sounds like hasn't been stamped yet, but it sounds like it is. So I'm just taking the approach that's the best approach for us. So we're going to make it the best. Last year we signed 46 guys, or 46 guys joined us that didn't go through spring practice. So it worked for us last year on what the rules were. And I'm always going to be a believer in whatever it is. We're going to make the most of it, the best of it. And if sit around, well, why don't we have 2 and all that, then that's wasted energy and thought. So we've got to have a great plan, be very select and direct on what we need to target during that window in January, and find a way to get them.
Barry, you took 54 guys overall from the portal. can you possibly get 50 transfers in that one 10-day window or so in January?
You're gonna have to if that's the rule. So, now the rule is that's when they have to go in, you know, so they could join you later, but that's when you would have to enter your name in the portal. So we'll adjust. I mean, it's new for everyone, just like the last couple of years have been new. You gotta adjust, you gotta adapt, you gotta make it work, and we will. We'll have a really good plan for it.
Why was the rule changed, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of thought, a lot of discussion, a lot of conversation with the AFCA and the different leagues on what it looks like, and then you get into athletic directors, presidents on their vote. So the thing I don't want to lose sight of is when school starts. Each school in different times. Ours is early in January, so it's a window of time to be able to get a guy in school with the time they need to. And still, there's a thing called graduation. So, and I care deeply about that. Everybody that we get in our program, if they haven't graduated yet, it's my job to make sure they graduate from college. So, we will never lose sight of that. And that's a big, important piece to the component on us bringing a guy to Purdue. Educationally, they've got to understand the impact that it takes to graduate and what it looks like if you get a degree from this place, how that changes your life in a positive way.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.